Have you ever been caught with your pants down? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that can be an embarrassing moment, especially if you're in the shower with someone else's wife. So while you're reviewing some pictures from the 1980s and 70s and perhaps even the 60s of my childhood, I'm going to tell you a story about getting caught with my pants down in someone else's shower. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And just so that you know that I tell you the truth about a lot of things, this picture that I'm going to zoom in on is from the 1973 era. And if you notice the hat on top of that young man, that skinny fella in the picture, that hat is in fact this hat, ladies and gentlemen. This is the hat that I was wearing when I got caught with my pants down. And I almost lost my hat that night. So we're going to go back to the pictures while I describe the story, which starts in the year 1981 when I had this station wagon with a motorcycle sticking out of the back of the station wagon itself. It was in fact a 250 Ducati, as opposed to this motorcycle, which we're going to play that, which was my first motorcycle, which was a Bonanza motorcycle with a 100cc Hodaka engine on it. Now, moving back to the story that happened on Shore Parkway in 1981, I had gone over to a friend's house who I had been friends with for a long time, and they were having a marital dispute that was going on for months. And the woman and I had always liked each other. And the husband always encouraged us being friends. Now, at this point, I have to tell you that one thing led to another, and after a couple of bottles of wine, somehow or another, we ended up in the shower. And when we ended up in the shower, we were washing each other's hair, and she was actually soaping down my back. And what I heard while we were in the shower was a noise that sounded something like this. It sounded like steel on glass. And I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, at that point I was a little bit upset about where I was and how I was situated, because the only other person in the house that should have been in the house was an 18-month-old child that couldn't knock at the top of the glass shower door. So now you can imagine what's running through my head. No, you can't. So with that, I'm looking at the shower door, and what I see at the mouth of the shower door is a little black barrel that looks like this. And it's opening up the glass door. And the barrel is about that long. And where the barrel ended was a cylindrical object with 5 hollow points called a .357 Magnum pistol. Pistola, he used to call it. And here I am, sitting in the shower, getting soaped down by this beautiful young lady, with my pants not down, but with no pants at all. And at this point, I am thinking I'm gonna have a bad day. Not only am I going to have a bad day, but she's going to have a bad day too. So I'm standing there looking at this fella. I don't want to mention his name because I happen to like the guy, but I don't know what to say. And he slides the shower door open ever so slowly, because I'm not saying anything. I'm just kind of like froze, stuck. I'm stuck. And the lady who's soaping down my back sees the door opening up and says, "What are you doing?" Because the water's splashing all over the place. And when she looks up, who does she see? she sees her husband. It was not that funny, and it wasn't that funny at the time. And he looks at her, and he looks at me, and he says, with his left hand, because his right hand has the pistola in it, "How many times did I tell you not to have sex with another man unless I'm home?" And I'm thinking to myself, well, so far, so good. This is not the worst day of my life yet, but it looks like it could be. So I don't laugh because it ain't funny. I'm standing there naked with soap all over me. She's got her hands on my shoulders. She's stuck. I'm stuck. And this dude is yelling at her, and I'm going, well, you know, maybe there's a way out of this. So he goes, you, get the fuck out. So he backs up out of the room, and he's got the pistol on me. He goes, get the fuck out. I said, I'm naked. He goes, yeah, I know. So now here's the problem. We just had 2.5 to 3 inches of a fine dusty snow with a 1/2 inch of rain glazed over the snow, 1/2 inch of ice glazed over the snow, and it's about 20 degrees below zero because I had been in the house since early the afternoon. So my car is parked 1,200 feet away on Shore Parkway, which you could see the Verrazano Bridge from where the house was. And now I have to get to my car, but I don't have any clothes. So I bend down on the floor to start to gather my clothes, and he goes, no clothes. He goes, no clothes. He hands me my wallet, which looked pretty much similar to this, because I used to mark my wallet with green tape then too, so I would see it where I put it down on the counter. He hands me my wallet and 2 keys. That's the keys to my station wagon that you saw in the beginning of the movie. And he says, out. And I don't even argue with him. 20 degrees below zero, walking through 1,200 foot of ice and snow. It's a good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a good day. I get to walk to my car in a blizzard, in naked at 2 o'clock in the morning. Drunk naked, but now I'm starting to sober up. So moving past that, I get to my station wagon, and there's a 250 Ducati sticking out the back window. I can't get the key in the door because it's froze solid. And the wind had blown all this snow into the back of the car, around the motorcycle, and all the way up to the vinyl seats on that ratty 1971 Plymouth station wagon that I had. So I have to crawl over the motorcycle naked now, with a set of keys in my hand and a wallet. So I crawl in. I'm crawling on snow. And I got to remember, it's 20 degrees below zero. I crawl up to the back seat. I roll over the back seat. I'm freezing. I'm shivering. I'm going, what a great day. I'm having a good day. I get over to the front seat. I put the key in the ignition. I start it up, and I sit there like this because I didn't have a shirt. I didn't have a jacket. I had no clothes. I had no shoes. My feet are froze to the pedals. There's snow on the floor. There's snow on the dashboard. There's snow on the seat. And I'm thinking, this is a good day. This is a good day. I'm having a good day. And I'm sitting there 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm going numb. No heat's coming out of the car, because it took a long time to warm that car up. I mean, not enough heat to warm up the world, and I gotta wait for the ice to melt off the windshield because I can't get out. I don't have a scratcher for the window. I was unprepared for this disaster, and with that, what do I hear? Again, I hear on the window, and I'm going, I guess today ain't gonna be so good after all. And when I open up the window, I look, and who is it? It's her husband. We're tapping on the window once again with that 357 snub-nosed Magnum with the 5 hollow points in it. And I'm going, hi. I said, hi. What am I supposed to say? I'm screwed. And he goes to me, you know what I got? And I'm going, no. You know, I answer him. He's going, and he holds up a package. He goes, I got your clothes. And I'm going, yeah, okay. I don't even want to ask him for my clothes. I'm rocked now. I'm really, because he's back. You know, he's like a bad penny. He's back. So he goes, here. He hands me my clothes. He goes, get dressed. So I get dressed, and while I'm getting dressed, I'm trying to put my clothes on naked in the snow with the ice and everything. He rolls down his window again. He's watching me, and he goes, you want to go to Manhattan? I said, yeah, I'll go to Manhattan with you. he goes, come on, hurry up, let's go. So I got dressed, and I get in his car, and I look at him. I'm going, are you going to shoot me? He goes, nah. He goes, we're going to go party for a couple of days. We got to get this behind us. We've been friends for a long time. He goes, I don't want to let this, something like this, get between us. She should have never did that. It's not your fault. So we end up going into Manhattan. We went. The first thing we did was we went to the Limelight downtown, and that was like, wasn't really our thing. So we split. We went uptown to Studio 54, and we ended up in someplace on 91st Street and First Avenue in a duplex with a couple of gals we met at 54, and we had a good night. Actually, it turned out to be a good day. But that's my story about getting caught with your pants down. So, ladies and gentlemen, getting caught with your pants down can be a hazardous, to say the least, a hazardous situation. And this was the hat that I had at the time when I was at the house, and that he also handed me this hat. So this hat brings back a lot more memories than you might think. So ladies and gentlemen, at this point, this is probably going to be called With Your Pants Down. Could be Stories with the Faz. I'm not